Hey guys, this is Study and welcome back to Comic Space, and today we have quite an interesting update, as in quite an interesting project is indeed in development at Marvel Studios, as we are coming off the back of the third and the final season of the What If series, as it looks like Marvel Studios have pulled the plug on the What If for sure, at least for now. But it also looks like Marvel Studios is not done with planning how they are actually going to be moving forward, especially when it comes to the Guardians of the Multiverse and all of the major characters with Captain Carter, which we also believe she is going to be the same version of Captain Carter showing up in Avengers Doomsday, with Hayley Atwell coming back to the role. With all of these things going on, Marvel Studios is not going to leave out those characters, but they're actually going to be moving forward in a different way, in an animation sense still. But we are talking about Marvel Studios' EXILES project that is now indeed in development at Marvel. So what is that about, what is happening, and how it is going to be connecting dots with the What If series and moving forward, especially with the Multiverse saga and all. So we have a lot to talk about, as our today's update is coming from Alex Perez, and again, if you have been following our channel or have been part of the rumor mill, it is one of the sources that we like to give a lot more reverence, and it is also one of the sources that we cover frequently on the channel as well, where he have simply went on to state in a very simple one sentence that the Guardians of the Multiverse will become the Exiles. So what does this mean? So to give the context to the update, in the early 2000s Marvel had an issue as the Exiles, which was again in quite a similar thing to what Marvel Studios also had done with the What If series. But in terms of this series, it was that all of the characters that were exiled from their original timeline to, of course, fighting against the villains. Also, another interesting aspect that was involved in this Exile storyline was that if you die in this run, that specific character would actually never be resurrected, and given the nature of the comics, and even Marvel Studios have went on to adapt that a lot of it, that the resurrection of a lot of these characters, it wouldn't have happened in this series. So again, I think that was also one of the major point of having the Exiles run, and it was also in much more of a continuous storyline and much more of a team storyline with what we have seen in the What If series, which again Marvel Studios or Marvel Comics specifically did plan What If as just having a premise and go over the story and not having that much continuity. But of course we are in Marvel Studios and it's Marvel Animation now, but again, of course, Marvel is going to be doing that and having in some sort of continuity and cohesive storyline told over episodes and having a major conclusion, because of course that's what they're going to be doing, and of course that makes some complete sense. But of course it also looks like Marvel Studios is not putting all of their chips to having more season of What If. They did plan more seasons of What If initially, where they thought that they were going to be releasing each new season with each year, but of course that did not turn out, and we did had to wait a lot for the second season. However, we got the third one pretty soon in compared to the second one. But of course Marvel Studios is not moving forward with the What If series in its own, and of course as we're heading into the final and the last leg of the multiverse saga, it is probably going to be confined to all of the multiverse story. But when the time comes, they're probably going to be indulging the fact and to adapt all of these characters and to bring those characters back, such as Kahudi, such as Captain Carter, which again, like I said, Captain Carter also could be showing up in Doomsday. Kahudi also could be making her live action debut at some point, maybe in the Mutant Saga and all of the stuff, because obviously I think Marvel Studios, those two characters specifically are very important to our live action multiverse saga than just the animation side of it. And again, of course Marvel Studios would like to incorporate all of these ideas and go move forward with all of the What If concept and to present the story, because of course they have worked wonderfully for them with the What If series, but not moving with the premise of What If, but actually moving forward with the Exile storyline, which again it also leads us to believe it is indeed going to be another animation venture for Marvel Animation. So all of the characters that we have seen and Marvel Studios have went down to develop and adapt throughout the 3 seasons of What If, and the Guardians of the Multiverse specifically are going to be adapted into that Exiles project, which is again, we don't know when that will come out, but again, given the slate and how things are forming up, it is indeed not coming out in the multiverse saga, because we gotta sit on a lot of those things. It doesn't seem to be happening soon. With Marvel Studios live action as well as animation slate looks to be quite jam-packed already. With of course we are going to have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming up, which Marvel Studios dropped an amazing trailer for that show. It just looks amazing on that front. And of course we are going to have X-Men 97 coming out in 26, and for this very year, like I mentioned, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man with Eyes of Wakanda, with Marvel Zombies, and a lot of those stuff is gonna be coming out. So we already have a lot of things going on the Marvel Animation side. and a lot of things going on the Marvel Studios live action slate. So again, moving forward, we are going to have lots of things to talk about with, of course, we are just coming on the back of the What If season 3, the third and the final season of the series. So where Marvel Studios is going to tie those loose threads and how we are going to head up with all of those things going on into Avengers Doomsday. So with a lot of things going for it. So again, I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.